Hi, my name is Karina and I do not vote, but I urge you to. Watch this video till the end to find out why and hopefully learn something new. For me as a data analyst, there's nothing more frustrating than missing data. Dirty data I can clean, but missing data makes me feel helpless because I don't know how much is missing and where. My data set is not complete, sampling is riskier, and the analysis will not be accurate. Missing data is exactly what happens when you choose not to vote. Not voting is still voting, but in the most dangerous way, when you give your power away and your missing vote gets distributed elsewhere without you having any control over it. By excluding your vote from the total number of votes, you add percentual value to the existing votes of those people who did show up and voted, and often they voted for someone you want to see the least as your president or any elected official. You're letting them speak up for you blindly, and you're letting them decide on what's going to happen in your country and the world. When looking at the elections data, you might notice that the total is always 100%. To quote President Obama, when you opt out, you give your power away, and that allows other people to fill that void.
I don't care about politics. Look, I don't care about Pokemon, but that doesn't mean it won't keep on coming back.
There is a limited amount of votes in each country at a given time. And what matters is not as much the numbers as it is the relative percentage. By not voting, you're showing that you're happy with the status quo. You're happy with the way 2020 was handled in this country. You're happy with the way pandemic was handled. You're happy with racial injustice, police brutality, tax laws, all of the above. You basically check that box and sign that you accept. If you do not, then show up and vote them out. Here comes the issue. Sometimes there is no candidate we want to vote for. We often hear advice to vote for lesser of two evils. Well, I personally believe it's the lesser of three evils, where the evil is, we know who. The lesser evil is their opponent, and the biggest evil of all is not voting at all. Think of it as if you needed to hire a person in your company and you have a pool of candidates. Yes, none of them is perfect, but the position needs to be filled. And sometimes you just need to choose someone who will do less damage. Think of it that way. Think of it as your business to choose a president. And remember that you're not only choosing the one character, you're choosing a team. So obviously pay attention to the policies, political party, donors, supporters, judges that come with that candidate, and so on. And my favorite subject, privilege check. Your voting rights are a huge privilege. Use them. To have the privilege of the right to vote, unless you are a cis white man, is something that has been fought for centuries, and people died for that right. And you are given that right now, you have it. How can you not use it? If you're eligible to vote, do it. Don't give your power away. Own your power. Show up for yourself, for your community, your ancestors. It's like winning the green card lottery and never boarding that plane. It's like buying a winning lottery ticket and never coming to pick up your prize. Why wouldn't you? So by now you might be wondering, what's her point? Why is she not voting? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I'm an immigrant, and I'm not allowed, and I'm not eligible. In fact, for me, as a lawful permanent resident, even registering for a federal election is a cause for deportation. And if another immigrant doesn't know this law and they go and with best intentions register for voting, or God forbid actually do vote, then years later when they have their citizenship interview, they will probably be rejected because they voted. Because they cared enough to vote. And you are thinking not to vote. Oh my God. I've been living in the USA for 7 years, and it's gonna take me, in best case scenario, at least 3 more until I can even apply for American citizenship. That is 10 years of living in the country, paying taxes, contributing to the community, and having no voice. Now multiply that by 47 million. And that counts at 14.4, let's say almost 15% of the USA population. That is 15% that is already missing data by default, not these people's fault. So think about that. What a huge chunk of missing data already. Those are opinions that we will never know, votes will never collect, and voices will never hear. Why would you want to adapt to that? The pool of voters is already small, and you're making it even smaller by not voting. While immigrants cannot vote legally by law, unfortunately there are plenty of illegal ways out there to stop eligible voters, in Black communities in particular, to vote. This is called voter suppression, and it's a huge issue. Here I'm gonna link the video from the New York Times in detail explaining what is happening in Georgia and other states in the south of the USA in particular, where voting is being made almost impossible for people, but they still show up and try to vote. People of color, people in poor communities are being held from voting. There are people who cannot vote and they try so hard to have their voice heard. And at the same time, we have people who are so eligible and everything is so easy for them and they don't care. Don't be those people. I'm hoping that one day on our path to equality, all immigrants, all people of color, all people residing in this country, paying taxes, creating families, contributing to the communities, will be able to vote equally. But until that day comes, all I can do is use my voice to remind you to use yours, so that we can get to that equality point faster. Can I ask you for a favor? If you are eligible to vote, but you are not going to, can you please use mine? I'd rather have you speak up for myself rather than being missing data, falling off the chart. Of course, I cannot tell you how to vote, but I hope you really appreciate the color of my dress today. Did you get it? I would like to add something that a lot of people will have a problem with, especially now around elections. Believe me, America is a great country. America is probably the best country to be, definitely one of. As an immigrant, I noticed that a lot of amazing things in this country citizens are taken for granted. Well, don't. So let's not mess this one up. Thank you for watching and vote as if your life depends on it.